In this practice, we'll be focusing on tight IT bands and work to create just a little bit more elongation and flexibility in that area. This is a band of fascia that runs from the pelvis all the way down the side of the leg as if a racing stripe. And for runners and bicyclists and for a lot of sports, this is an area that can get really tight. We'll begin. Lie down on your back. I always have a block and a strap available to me in the practice. If you don't have those available to you, we can improvise. Line your mat. Walk your feet over to the right side. Lift your arms up. Take your hands out to the right side as well. You're creating the letter C shape. I've heard this referred to as the banana pose. Now take hold of your left wrist with your right hand and reach over to the right side just a little bit more. Walk your feet over to the right a little bit more. With your feet active, with your ankles in dorsiflexion, take your left leg over your right so that you get even more of a stretch all the way from the feet to the pelvis, pelvis all the way to the armpit and out through the fingertips. You feel the length in the pose. And breathe in. When you breathe in, can you expand the side body more fully? With a slight bend to your left elbow, can you reach your left hand a little bit further to the right with a little pulling sensation with your right hand and resisting sensation with your left? Now release your hands, uncross your legs with your arms to your sides, your legs straight. Just allow the breath to find fullness again. Notice the difference between one side and the other side. Before walking your feet over to the left, take your arms up and over your head. Take your hands to your left side as well. Breathe in and let the feeling of the breath just expanding the side body create this feeling of spaciousness and upper body freedom. Now walk your legs just a little bit further to the side, left side. Take your hands a little bit further to the left side. With your left hand, hold on to your right wrist. Bend your right elbow slightly. Invite the breath to expand the side body. Now add to that by crossing the right leg over the left. And as you do, just witness the fullness that the breath brings and that the posture brings. Maybe you can even take your hands and feet just a little bit further to the left, creating even more of a curve. Release now back to the center position and release your arms to your side, palms facing up. Just receive a nice in-breath and out-breath. It's a way to really enjoy the fullness that the breath brings you. As you're ready, you can bend your knees, roll to your right side with your arms reaching over so that you can lift yourself to a tabletop position. In tabletop position, take your big toes together. Take your knees as wide apart as the mat is, if that's comfortable to you. Reach your pelvis back and take your arms forward. Allow your head to release toward the earth. Maybe even the forehead can come to the earth. Now inhale, come up to tabletop position again. From tabletop position, step your hands forward. Reach your right leg out to the side. And similar to what you did in child's pose, draw your pelvis back. And as you draw your pelvis back, feel a nice lengthening of the inner groin area. Keep pressing the base of your baby toe side of the foot down on the right foot. Reach your pelvis back as far as it feels right for you before lifting yourself up to come to tabletop again. In this tabletop position, reach your right arm up and just open your chest nicely. Now thread your right hand underneath your left armpit and reach your right hand way to the left side. Inhale, reach your arm up, lift your chest up. Exhale, keep your right foot planted. Thread your right hand underneath the armpit. Draw back slightly. Come back to lift up one more time. Reach up. Thread your hand underneath the armpit. Draw the pelvis back. Keep your right leg engaged. And lift yourself up. In tabletop position again. Stretch your left foot out to the left side. Lift your right arm up. Thread your right hand underneath your left armpit. Reach toward the extended left foot. Inhale. Slowly unwind and reach your right arm up. Exhale, keeping your left foot planted. Draw your pelvis back toward your right heel. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, thread toward your left foot. Inhale, come back to a tabletop position in all fours. Lift yourself up to downward facing dog. And in downward facing dog, lift up on your tiptoes and draw your heels to your right. Come back to the center position. Take the heels to the left to stretch the side body. Come back to the center position. Take your knees down to the mat. Interlace your fingers on the mat with your forearms pressing down. Pull your elbows in toward each other. With your toes tucked under, lift your pelvis up. Release your head. Walk your feet in. Come to tiptoes in the pose. So you're bringing your shoulders forward. Release back as if trying to press your heels back. Come to tiptoes again, shoulders drawing forward. Now draw your heels back. One more, inhale. And exhale, stretch from the heart to the pelvis, pelvis all the way down to your heels. Release your knees down. Come to lie on your side. With your right forearm down, take your left foot forward. You might want to hold on to it just to keep it in place, or actually give it slight resistance, because the knee wants to fall in. Instead, with the arm, you can keep the knee close to an aligned state. So as you press through the back foot, lift up and draw down, and lift up and draw down. One more, lift up and draw down. Now turn yourself over so that you're on the left forearm. On your left side, plant your right foot. You can hold on to the leg or again offer a little resistance to the inner thigh or inner knee. Now lift up and draw down. Lift up and down. Lift up and draw down. Now come to lie on your back. With your knees bent, take your right ankle to the outer left knee. Press your elbows down. Lift your pelvis up and draw the pelvis toward the mat, but not all the way to the mat. Lift up, draw down, lift up, and come down all the way. Release your right foot. Place your left ankle to the outer right knee. Keep the left leg active. Keep the left thigh reaching away from your left ribs. Inhale, press into the right foot to lift up. Try to get as much length from the pelvis to the knee. And again, lift up, engage that lifted leg, the bent leg, so that you can really stretch through the pelvis to the knee. And down. One more, lift up and draw it down. Release your left foot. If you've got a strap for the next one, that will work, or you can improvise with a towel. Lie down. Take the strap right at the base of the right toes. Lift your right foot up. Hold on to the strap with your left hand, and with your thumb and 4 other fingers, press the thumb into the pant leg crease and just push it back. And with your 4 other fingers, you're externally rotating the flesh right at the top of the thigh. So you're just drawing yourself into a little bit more space as you reach your right foot just a little bit closer to stretch out the back side of the leg. And now release just slightly. Keep your thumb and fingers at this pant leg crease so you encourage that extra space as you draw your right foot just slightly, not even a foot to the left. You're just drawing slightly to the left and really working this area. From the thumb to the baby finger, really working the fingers to create space. If it's available to you, you can extend your leg out so that you get just a little bit more of a stretch there. Now release yourself out of the pose. Bend your right knee, plant it down, take the strap at the base of your left toes. Hold on to the strap with your right hand. Keep your right foot really grounded. And as you draw your foot forward more, if it's too much of a pulling sensation, just bend your knee slightly. Take your thumb and fingers to do the external rotation right at the hip line crease. as you draw the thumb toward the outer hip. Externally rotate the flesh in that hip area as you keep reaching your toes. Now release back slightly out of the pose and cross the left foot toward the right side. Your left hip is not lifting up, it's staying planted. Your fingers are doing their part to create just a little bit more fullness there at the top of the hip as you draw your left foot toward the right side. And again, if it's available to you and you can straighten your right leg, go ahead and do that. And just invite nice ease to the breath. Nice groundedness through the pelvis. Come back to the center, bend both knees. Take the strap off your foot. With the knees bent, park your elbows firmly, lift your pelvis up. Let's get this nice fullness on the front side of the body. Before releasing your pelvis down to the mat, releasing your arms, stretch your legs out. Close your eyes. Receive a nice full in-breath and out-breath through the nose. Breathe in deep and breathe out long. Breathe in deep and out long. Enjoy the ease of Savasana as you assimilate the actions of the practice. You breathe in deep and out long. Enjoy this time in Shavasana. Namaste.